Hi all. They're like, oh, you're not back down here again, Grant. Uh, yeah, there is one little thing. I mentioned before, once I made these adjustments after Martin's pointing out that the unit here that we destroyed was bracketed, so it didn't exert zone of control, so it allowed the different movement. He also talked about one less combat chit he felt in the combat, but he didn't elaborate on that. However, I maybe should have looked more into it because generally Martin's spot on. So he kind of left me guessing with that one. But maybe if I'd looked at it, I might have seen this unit with finding out that I could move units into here. As soon as the first unit went into there, it then surrounded the allied unit that way. So this unit now wasn't causing the surround, and he could freely break away, and the allied unit would still be surrounded. So this is what Martin was meaning, that this unit in actual fact would have moved with movement method 2, which is move adjacent to an allied VP hex, isn't it? Not on my page as usual. Move to a hex with closer to unit's army objective and adjacent to allied VP hex. So he was then free as these units moved first because they were core objective movement. He was then free at some point to move into there. That would have been after that unit. Oh no, that unit reinforced battle. So that other unit would have still been there as well. But that's the only hex he could move into anyway. So he would have moved into there, adjacent to there. Oh, don't tell me that then gives a different result to the check here, does it? Because we would only be able to check with that unit. Surely that's not going to make a difference. Well, you know what? Have a look in a second. Anyway, that then meant that this unit wasn't conducting the attack here, and hence the reason Martin said there was one less combat chit, which was correct. But you remember, I drew 13 combat chits, and I never even had to count up the result. You only needed D1, and the result was something like D7 or D8 or something. It was ridiculous. So having that one less combat chit, although I don't like these things, I'm not going to go back and try and rewind all that. So we'll just need to say that there's one chit being drawn extra that I suppose I could find it. And, oh, you know what? We've moved on. We've had our combat. I'm just going to have to leave that one, right? So, yeah, well spotted though, Martin. Like I say, I should have maybe looked more into that when you said that. Another thing, a couple of things he mentioned about the reinforced battle, how we were saying about breaking away from the not being restricted within reinforced battle, or is it or isn't it? He comes to the conclusion that he believes it is. He's made quite a big comment if you want to read it on YouTube. He also notes that within enemy action Kharkov, the movement restrictions do apply to reinforced battle. I mean, I know this is a different game, but you tend to think that it's maybe been more clarified there that it is. But the fact that I was able to move the unit and still keep it adjacent, I'm not breaking the restriction anyway. And he believes that the move that I reinforced the battle with was correct. So that was good. The last thing he mentioned, hang on, it's elsewhere, was the last activation of 47 core. And if you remember, I wondered why this guy hadn't built an IP, because we had activated 47th not long before that. And then initially I actually chucked an IP on him, saying, right, well, he's not going to move, so he's going to get an IP. Then I started activating the support card as the next impulse, wasn't it? The 67 core units, the division ones, 3rd PG division, the ones that done a bit of damage actually up the top there, these guys. And then while I was making that activation, I realised that, oh no, this unit didn't move here that last time, and that's why I wasn't building IP. I thought that must have been what had happened. what it was he had looked at movement method 7 and he was the only infantry unit adjacent to that infantry unit. So knowing the only non-bracketed infantry unit adjacent to that unit, so his movement is considered complete. Now Martin kind of gave me, was giving me a little bit of praise about remembering that rule, but however, there's two things there. Well, I forgot it initially because I put the IP on it. However, as I've replied to him, it was me that was kind of stubborn and sticking by, whereas both John Brown and Martin thought that movement considered complete meant that that unit can't now do anything else apart from attack. It can't build an IP. It can't bounce back to reserves if it was stacked with other units. Whereas I kind of thought, well, movement considered complete doesn't say it's moved, so I feel that should build an IP. And within the game, I believe I was actually allowing an IP build. But it was one of the questions that Martin had put to John Butterfield, and he had confirmed that once that unit was movement considered complete, it then could not build an IP, it could not bounce back to reserves. The only thing it could do is be considered in a combat. So kind of like you picking up that I didn't notice that one's a bit like, but maybe that's why it's in my head, because I used to feel like that should be able to build an IP, but now since John's confirmed that, it's maybe some kind of bit. But however, so that unit's like that with no IP. And like Martin says, if this unit takes a step loss, he then becomes a bracketed unit adjacent to that, so then he would build an IP because it's got to be a non-bracketed unit. So okay, so thanks for your comments, Martin. Thanks for keeping me straight as usual, and let's consider the next allied impulse. Okay, right, the one thing I wish you hadn't mentioned, Martin, maybe what your thought has been on making this attack on this unit here. No, I mean that's up to me. I don't want to be asking for folks' advice on what should I do here, what should I do there, but I suppose after the fact, might be interested to see what you think you would have done here, because I think I'm annoyed with this combat that happened up here, and I'm a bit I'm a bit angry about that and feel like I want to get some revenge on them. I mean, it's not the units in particular, because I'm not going to go up and challenge them. That's too much in the forest. But I'm starting to feel like I want to make this move down here and attack this unit. Like I said, I think I was going to be able to get 41 odds. Was it 4 or 5? 9, 12. Yeah, 41 odds, and I'm pretty sure I can get 7 chip pools with 1 combat tactic. I mean, yes, I could use both combat tactics, but as long as I'm getting the 7, the decision's going to be which one to use. Oh, see, I decide I'm going to do it, and then I come on camera and I start talking about it, and then I start wondering if this is the right thing. Right, I'm going to do it. I've decided I'm going to do it. So activating 7 core. Right, well, there's no messing about here. This move was 1, 2, and then 3 down the road. It wouldn't make any difference. Oh yeah, because I'm going to bring this infantry as well. So that's that move, and then no, this was full strength. He's going to go 1, 2 breaking zone of control and 3 back in. I don't think I could reach, the cavalry could reach anyway, I don't think. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Yeah, I looked at that already. Not I'm sure I would have brought it. No, if the numbers had been good, maybe. I keep looking at the two single step units. Think, why not just use the 2 points and repair them? Nah. Okay. Now and then the other units have got up the top. Well, he can't move. He's surrounded, which is unfortunate. This guy's bracket. He could have made some move, but I think he's staying put now. That's not a town, is it? No. Just wonder. Well, you know what? Maybe I should just chuck the bracketed unit into Liege, because it looks like I'm going to use the 5-core card for artillery in this combat, I think. So I'm not going to be able to move the 5-core units, any of the 5-core units into there. Well, one of them's dispersed anyway, isn't it? What do we get the next day? We get 2 5-core armoured units actually. That's quite nice, so they can go up there and help, and then 3 12-core units for way down the south, which I'll be starting to look at our one, I think. So that's not too bad. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think I will. I think I'll move the bracketed unit in there, just for a little bit of peace of mind, I think. This cavalry unit. I mean, that's Sufi, that's 5 victory points, so I think I probably just want to leave them there. I mean, I know these are attacking across the river. I mean, all I could do is maybe bring them into here. I don't see that being... Nah, probably better leaving them in the town, I think. Okay. Let's do it. The one other thing... This is 5 strength. I mean... yeah, I mean, it is across the river though, isn't it? Just looking at this little infantry unit that's... But you know what, he could get an undetected defender, he's still getting to draw a combat attack. Nah, I think that's silly. Because he could, I'm pretty sure there's a first SS card to come. You know, maybe not. And there is a couple of first SS units in the reserve units box, so it'd be great if the likes of this came along to support him in the battle. Not. So, yeah, I think it's a bit daft. And, I mean, I'm only going to get what? Well, I'll only get 1 chip pool. So, yeah, let's not be silly. Let's not be sillier than we're probably being. Right, okay, so we're going to make an attack here. So this unit's going to join in as well. So there, like I say, these are all full strength. All 5s as well, it's good. So 15, 18, but all that's across the river, so that's half to 9, and then we get 3 from that, 12. So 12 to 3, so it's 4 to 1 odds, like I say. It's got an IP, he's in the forest. Oh. Right, and I think to give myself a better shot at this, I think I have to play my artillery. The tank battalion's only going to give me the extra chip pool, but and like I say, chip pools are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 for each 6, and then playing the artillery gives me that 7th combat chip. So got the large attack, we've got the artillery. I mean, he's still going to get to draw a card. No defender option, but you will get a combat tactic. I'm kind of looking for a reinforced battle or something again. That army group card's still to come though. What, that's got like... Has that not got 3 combat tactics on it? Oh dear. Well, mind you, one of them's our assault coordination. I think it's artillery and combat engineers though, isn't it? Both of them would work. Oh, you're talking yourself And that's what I'm going to draw now, I bet you. Right. Right, last chance to decide if you're going to do this, Grant. Right, okay. I went this far, might as well do it, right. So he's only got 4 cards left in the draw pile. So he's getting to draw a combat tactic. So fingers crossed. I don't want the army group card. It is not, and it's assault coordination. Perfect. So that's only for attackers, so that's another card away. There's division card for the first SS, so maybe not a lot that happened with that. A wee bit of movement maybe, right enough. I'll look about. Okay, so good. Well, that's the first part. Good. But here's the major part. Get space to put my chits in. So quite important this one, I think. In particular, I don't want to take any A hits. I mean, I'd be okay taking 1, I suppose, and take out this infantry. I don't want to reduce these guys. I mean, I guess they go down to 4 strength, but even still, no, they don't. They go to 3. That's even worse. Oh well, maybe there's one of them goes to 4 and 2 of them go to 3. So, right. Well, you're in now. So minimum of 2 chit pools. So we'll get the 2 first and see where we're at. Okay, first chit, artillery. So we scored there. Unfortunately, I didn't get the second one. So a good start. Not perfect, but good. But you know what's coming. I've got to go to 7 now. I've got a lot of chits. I'm not drawing a blue chit in a while. One of them's is -2 for the forest, isn't it? Oh gosh. Right. Okay, but I'm going to get the other 5. I need to go the large attack. Okay. Okay, I've not drawn the blue chit, so that's good. I've not looked at them yet though, so here we go. Yes, what a great result. That was amazing. 2 attacker elite chits. We've got elites, we don't have green units attacking. That's what done it, and we got in a large attack. So I mean, the large attack and the attacker artillery were all to do with playing the combat chit to make it up to 7 chits as well. This was 9-1 in the front, which I seen. I was like, oh, if it's 4-1 in the back, no, 5-1. So just missed. And combined arms. We've both got combined arms. So, but I couldn't ask for anything better than that. Really, could I? I mean, yeah. Oh, he's surrounded. Have I got him? Maybe. Hang on. I have got him, haven't I? Because I got him surrounded. So that's made the difference as well, making that move up to get the guy surrounded first. So he's taken 4 hits. So the first hit takes off the IP, taking it down to 3. So he's got 3 hits to take, which is more than his steps. He has to retreat. He can only retreat into here or here. Right, it's not going to matter. He retreats into here and has to take a step loss because he's still in an allied zone of control. So that knocks him down to there. He's still got 2 hits to take. He retreats again, wherever it might be. He becomes dispersed and takes a step loss for the last one, which is him. Wow, that's brilliant. Kind of lucky, I suppose. It was a big gamble there. I mean, the chits could have been so much different. No forest chits at all. I mean, he didn't have a defender adjacent as well. That was the other thing I forgot to mention, which was a plus as well, because sometimes when they come up if there's a German defender adjacent, it can be a right pain. Well, excellent. I mean, and no hits at all to ourselves. So, great result. Hopefully there was no errors made there. I don't think so though. So that comes away, that comes away. That will not be getting shuffled in now because I've not got a draw pile. That's away, so we've got 1 card left in hand. Right, he's gone, so he's left no path of retreat. So Advance after combat. Okay, just a couple of things I've noticed. Now, so let me put this unit back a minute. When we first activated this core, I think we got that bridge, didn't we? What about the other bridge? No, there's a German unit across there, isn't there? I think we get that one though. There wasn't a unit in there, but so it is still in German. Right, give me a sec. Yeah, that's right. Whereas this one, we started the activation, there's a German unit across that bridge. We can't take control of that one, but there was no German unit in this hex when we activate it. Oh, that's our bridge anyway, so it's this one. So we take control of that bridge back. That one, where's that one? That one's in between there. Well, this wasn't active anyway. Right, let's take that guy away now. Just to keep me thinking about it right. Okay, yeah, and I think the reason that came to mind was, well, advance after combat. I can only advance one of these units into here, and it would have to stop, even though it's mechanised, because of the crossing the Unbridged River. I'm just wondering if it's maybe not such a good idea to move them across at all. Keep them on their... Well, it splits them up a bit if I put one of them across there, you know. Okay, do we push the infantry across? Or do we even bother with that? Maybe. Yeah, I think I actually will. I think I'll bring this advanced infantry across the Umbridge River there into that hex. I mean, I could advance this armoured unit into here and then as a second advance into here, I think. But no, I don't think that's clever, is it? It's moving out of that town. Yeah. No, I think we'll just leave it at that, actually. Okay. Oh well, turns out it was the right, well, I got lucky, shall we say. It was the right thing to do. So nice, yeah. So I'm happy with that. So just got one card left, that 8 core card, which I'll keep until the very last moment, because if the Germans do attack again, it does give me a tank battalion combat tactic if I feel... Well, I was kicking myself. I was looking back in that last video when I was talking about the attack up there. And the first thing I started with was, I was quite glad I had just passed that last turn, because it leaves me with a few combat tactics in my hand. And then I didn't play it. And obviously, as we've seen, that tank battalion combat tactic would have nullified the attack completely that 3rd Panzer division done. So that's a game. You've got to make your decisions, and it's nice the way it works. Sometimes, you know, the wee bit of luck with the chip pools. Sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're not. I think it fits in this game. I think some people don't like too much luck in a game. I don't think there's too much luck in this game. I think it's just a nice balanced amount, to be honest. And once you get your pinkies working with the cards, then you're golden. Right, I'll tidy things up. We've got one card left, so hoping to get this finished today. Now that I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, so I'll cut this one now because we're up to almost 25 minutes. But I'll probably come back right away with a German Impulse. So see you soon, guys. Cheers. Well, right, next German Impulse, only 3 cards left, so there she is. Army Group P, and let me make a mess here. What we got? Oh, and the OKW. Right, so here we go. Right, well they're going to sit, this is going to be the primary card, so they're going to sit like that. So, however, we do need to release these reserves now from that 9th Panzer Division. I just had a thought there, hang on. Yeah, I think I might have talked about this one before, about the fact I drew that card first. So then you're supposed to pause, shuffle this in, this card in, bring the reserves to the reserve units box. And I think my thinking was, would this card still be in there waiting to shuffle, because this was the first card I drew, but I think I came across that one before and decided that you would draw both these cards first, then carry out the Army Group B card. Pretty sure this came up before, yeah. I don't think anybody mentioned anything about it. Obviously that might make a difference if it was done the other way. If as soon as I drew this, before I drew the second card, I shuffled that in, I then may not be drawing this as my second card. So I think this is the way I done it the last time. I drew them both, then I done this and shuffled the cards in or whatever. So I'm going to stick with that one. But by all means, let me know if you feel like it should have been done the other way. So yeah, so this releases all the German reserves from the calendar. There's just the three. That went quite sweet. The 3 9th Panzer 47 Corps units. So they come down in the reserve units box, and then we do indeed shuffle this card in to these last two cards. Okay, so I'll try and do that. Not so easy shuffling two cards, and this time it could matter, couldn't it? I think what I'll maybe do here. You know what? I'm shuffling it. I can't. I've lost my concentration of it. Of which card's which. Whoop! Oh. And now I've just threw them on the table face up. Right, okay. What I think I'm going to do is, if I've got to draw one of them for a combat tactic, I'm going to roll a dice and odd or even them. Right, I've moved a few chits about there off camera, hang on. Okay, so that's all done. There's no event on the Army Group B card. So now we get the OKWs. So we're trying to activate them, but they're not on the map yet. So let's see what the procedure is here. So yeah, this is a good thing. I think the other cards we drew for the OKW, well, one of them put one of the divisions out of fuel, didn't it? So that's showing. And then I think the others must be in combat tactics. So they're going to get deployed on the map this turn. But it looks unlikely that they're maybe going to do anything. However, they could get put on the map with us. This could become a second impulse and possibly activate some of them. Right, so it says the first time you draw an OKW card is a command card. This is 9.81. First time you draw an OKW card is a command card for the German impulse. Place all units with OKW on the map per 9.42. So, and that is placing reserves in a newly arriving formation. When the command card for German impulse results in the activation of units in formation with no units on the map, check the reserve units box for any active units. So yeah, I mean, although these are part of the OKW as well, they're out of fuel. So they are becoming active, but they're out of fuel, so I don't think they can come on the map. So these are the only ones that are going to be able to come on the map, I think. Yeah. Right, that's going to be a strange one then, is it not? Because if they don't all come on the map just now, how are the other ones going to be deployed? Because, like I eventually realised, There's nothing on these cards for the Allied solo game that deploy OKW reserves. That feels like there's a bit of a... maybe a bit of an issue there. Hang on. Well, I don't know what to do about this, I'm afraid. That's damned annoying because I thought I could cruise on today. I've got quite some time. It's only early afternoon yet, and I thought I might get through this day. But I'm not sure how to resolve this. I can't really see anything in the rule book. But you can't deploy out of fuel units from the reserves. They have to stay there. So at the moment, this card would deploy these units, but these units would sit there. Now, at the end of the day, we would remove that fuel marker, but there's nothing to then deploy them, because even the division card alone doesn't allow for deployment. I mean, I don't know, the only thing I could, but I mean, let's just say that one of these cards would deploy them if I draw it next turn. It means I could draw this card again next turn, next day, you know, on the 24th. And would that just deploy them to the map, and then that would be that? Because there's not any commands within the OKW cards to make any deployment. You're meant to just deploy them all when a card gets put from this in the command card slot. But I mean, I'm pretty sure I was right in marking these guys out of fuel. Certainly that was done a while ago, and nobody mentioned any issue with that anyway. It was just the 10th SS division. In fact, well, hang on, I'll find the card. Yeah, so there's the card there. It was well early in the day actually, but the OKW units got released into the reserve units box in the very beginning of the day, isn't it? Is it in the reserve phase or the supply phase or whatever phase anyway? It's right at the beginning of the day, and then these cards get shuffled in. So I drew this quite early on, but I mean the 10th, the 11th Panzer Division are fine. They're only out of fuel on the 24th, 26th, 29th. But the 10th are out of fuel on the 23rd, and that's where we were. So as far as I'm aware, I rightly marked them out of fuel, even if they're in the reserve units box. Because I'm pretty sure you do that. Give me a second. Yeah, you mark any units on the map and in the reserve units box from the relevant divisions, and you mark them out of fuel. And then you would discard that card. And that's what we've done. So, yeah, I'm not sure how to go about this one. This looks like a wee loop that's been missed, but however, that it could just be that I'm missing something obvious. Surely this must have came up before though. The fact that you can... Because it wasn't even as if this card got to the command card box. Because I think even when I drew this card, it was always going to be in the support card. And it only talks about 9.8, whatever it is, 9.81 is it? It says the first time you draw an OKW card as a command card draw for the German Impulse, place all units of the OKW on the map. And then per 9.42, so you would go and do that, and that's like placing reserves in a newly arriving formation. But yeah, I can't deploy out of fuel units, so I don't know what to do. Okay, so I need your help. So I've just posted a question on BGG, so get on to it, guys, and tell me what I need to do here to make it work. If there's anything, I mean, I've done a research for OKW, and it doesn't ring any bells as something that was up in errata. However, I haven't looked, so maybe I should have a look. Give me a second. No, nothing I can see in a rat either, so this one has certainly got me stumped. So I need somebody to tell me if, unless they, if they know the answer, or if not, what the best way to proceed. Um, the only the only way I can think about doing it is, like I've said, I can deploy these units just now. That card's then done. We go out the next day, this fuel marker comes off. We draw another OKW card as a command. There's still units in the reserves. They come out, and then that card's done. That seems a little harsh on the Germans for it to go that way just because they're marked out of fuel. There certainly needs to be something clarified to me. Like I say, unless I'm missing something simple. Yeah, I'm going to have to pause this one just now, guys, and wait a little bit of time, and because I don't want to push on with this. It's quite an important bit at the end of the day without at least somebody suggesting something. So which is a shame. Hopefully yous are all on BGG today and not got much else to do and can answer my question. Right, I'll pause it for now, and I'll come back once I've made a decision or heard something, some good information on it. Okay, cheers.